Ka-joker mo, yung istorya ako, one day tao. Sige, I will share the video again. Ay, oh no. Dali lang Wait lang. Can you see it now? Wait lang
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Ano lang siya. Madali lang Ano nangyayari? Can you see this? Facebook? Hello? Okay na? Can you see it?
No, ma'am.
No? Wala.
Mas ma'am, makikita mo.
Na, ma'am.
Manila
Kita na.
Philippines? How about this? Can you hear it as well? Madunggan na?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Akong ibalik.
Will bring me to a remote village called Sitio Tapayan. Isang komunidad ng mga tribong simula nung ipinanganak sila ay hindi inabot ng gobyerno. Walang kalsada, walang eskwelahan, walang patubig, ni walang simbolo ng gobyerno. marinig ito ng ating Pangulo at makita itong ginagawa natin dito ay maantig ang kanyang puso at pagbigyan itong mga tribo na simulan nung ipinanganak sila ay hindi pa nakaramdam ng pagmamahal at pag-aaruga ng gobyerno. Mula po dito sa malapit sa sitio Tapayanon, Kapalong, Davao del Norte, in the middle of nowhere at 500 meters above sea level. Ako po si Secretary Manny Pilio, nagkasabi, marami pang mga Pilipino sa iba't ibang dako ng Mindanao at iba't ibang dako ng Pilipinas ang hindi pa naabot ng gobyerno. Tayo pong taga-gobyerno, kailangan lumabas sa ating mga opisina, kailangan pong maglakad ng konti sa labas ng ating air-condition ng mga opisina sapagkat marami pong mga Pilipino ang nag-aantay ng pagmamahal at pag-aaruga ng gobyerno.
Dobie. So what are your thoughts? Sige, Ben. What are your thoughts? Manawag ko? Volunteer. Sige. Thoughts? Manawag na lang ko, B. Si... Volunteer na lang. Kablo ko na mo'y gusto ingon. Volunteer? Wala. Let's have... Kim Junray. Sige, ano sa'yo mga thoughts or how did you feel about the video clip?
Ma'am, honestly, ma'am. Okay, sabot kay medyo lag, ma'am.
Ay, mau ba?
Yes, ma'am.
Sige,
Ginaging
fine.
net dure, ma'am.
Sige, you're excused. So, I will let you comment later on the comment of your classmate. Sige, si Aldrich na lang. Aldrich Montajes. Aldrich. Ipikit man. Aldrich. Rhea Jane. Rhea Jane? Miss Kaunggan? Susuy, lag din tanan. Sure, oy. Sige na. Don't worry. No right or wrong answer. Si Aldrich na lang. Murag nabalik na siya. Sige, Aldrich. Take it away.
Nagpilit ako ang mamay.
Ay.
Lagi.
So, who would volunteer? Sino volunteer?
Ako, ma'am.
Sige. Mr. Obilas, very good. Exempted na sa kotse. Sige.
Karon dili tanan nga kaning Pilipino nga sa Pilipinas bitaw ma'am, dili siya tanan nga matabangan sa government, ma'am, kay tungod sa katago sa ilahang lugar o kaning napayuban nga mga sa government, ma'am, nga kanang duol ra bitaw ang ilang matabangan, ma'am, dili na sila murag makapuyan sila, ma'am.
Okay, good. That's a good observation. Thank you, Flavel. And let's have Charmaine. Miss Elarmo.
Ma'am, wala na ako natiwas.
Sa kato lang yung nakita. Nakita lang ni mo. Sige, ane. So, let's go over the video again. So, the video, that's a short clip posted last September 15. So, recent lang kayo siya. And then, the video was about a community of indigenous people who were just discovered last year nga nag-exist daw sila. So for how many years sa pila ka tuig kini nga community they were in isolation. Ang ilahang lugar is somewhere in between the boundary of Bukidnon, Agusan del Norte, and another third province. So na sila sa boundary sa tunga-tunga. And then for how many years? Last year lang sila na-discover. And they were accidentally discovered by the Philippine Army because ang army, they were pursuing communist rebels. And then they accidentally stumbled upon the tribe or the community. So sa pila ka tuig, wala sila nakaila o gobyerno. So pag-abot sa army, because the community was isolated, there were 140 ka families in the community. Pag-abot nila, kanang katupag yung the communities that kanang very isolated, ang the women had no clothes, and then kay again wala ba sila, they had no idea that there was an outside world, no, undiscovered sila nga community. And then nagamama pa sila. They have kept their tradition, and then they're nomadic. What do you mean by nomadic? They move from one place to another. If you remember in your Philippine history, ang atong old nga barangay communities, isa ni sa ilang characteristic that they do not build settlements. They move from one place to another. So inana pa ang ilahang culture. And then their houses were built on not strong materials. Again, move man sila from one place to another. And then, ang ilang kinabuhian is ang pagbaligya og abaka. So they look hunting and then abaka, and then ang ilang ginabuhat is once they harvest the abaka, they have to walk for 3 days padulong sa San Fernando, Bukidnon, to sell their abaka for 50 pesos. Imagine 3 days nga baklay yun yung 50 pesos, no? Ang muhang maginan siya, and then they have to carry the abakas on their back. And then the first thing that they would buy when they have the money from the abaka is palit sila og asin, because based on our culture in Bukidnon, ang pinaka number one nga staple commodity is asin, di ba? If I don't know if you have if you're familiar with that, dili dapat mahutan og asin ang balay. So asin, and then if they have money left, they would buy coffee, etc. And then for them, that's okay because that's their way of life. And then, so when the army came over, the army became the first teachers of this community. O timan nga, last year pa sila na-discover. So last year pa sila nakabalo nga, ay naade education, naade gobyerno. And then one problem, nganong wala silang discover was because there was no road. Again, sila sa middle of nowhere. And there is, in terms of boundary, na ay dispute kung kinsa ang tag-iya sa ilaha. Is it Bukidnon? Is it Agusan del Norte? Or is it, I forgot the other province. Kaya again, naman sila sa boundary, and they move from one place to another. So, inana ang ilahang situation. Can you imagine, no, that napaday community nga isolated from the government, isolated from the entire world, untouched. And then when they returned, when the army reported that these people exist, so when they returned, ilang gitagaan og sanina ang mga babae nila dito, kay again they were napa sila sa karaan nga culture that women had no clothes, and then they taught them, etc. And now they're building a road. Og I think giangko na sila sa Davao del Norte, manata nga province, I'm not sure. There's a full video of it. I will post it in our Facebook group so that you can look over the entire story of this tribe. Now, why am I sharing it? Because it has a lot of implications for you as social science students. First question, based on the experience of that tribe, what social science, what branch of social science do you think would be interested in that particular community? Di ba natay psychology, political science, anthropology, sociology, economics, what branch of social science do you think would be interested in that particular community? Pino Bay? Volunteer? Which branch?
Unsa to, ma'am?
Unsa nga branch sa social science do you think would apply or would be interested in the experience of that tribe? Would it be psych, pol sci, economics, sociology, unsa ka?
Sociology, ma'am.
Why? Nga naman Carl Landrito. Why sociology? Why do you think so? Carlo?
Ingna maulang.
Oh, nga naman. Sige, Carl, why do you say sociology?
Because there are lack of kwan ma'am kining connections to the outside world ug anong wala kay sila kwan ma'am kining connection through dili sila ma-reach out kay wala sila connection. So dili sila diretso matabangan sa government kay isolated area man siya. So kinahanglan nila og kwan ma'am kining connection through the kwan ma'am kining mga tao na nasa government.
Correct. Because sociology deals with how society works, right? And how we build relationships with others. So, ang ilaharang ma-build ng relationship is with themselves because they are in an isolated area. Which also, wherein you also mentioned about the government. Meaning to say that it's also an issue in political science. Because remember, nga kato sila nga tribo or community, wala sila kailang government. Yet they have existed for so many years without one. So now we wonder, ang ato manggong idea is that you need government to exist. But yet you have this community who has no formal government, siguro na ilang own, something which is indigenous to them, na ilang own nga political structure in their community because they have survived even without outside help. So that's also a concern of pol sci. And then another thing about political science is that there's also the question of security. Because remember that the danger, it was not mentioned in that clip, but there was a danger that this community will be recruited by communist rebels because they will be targeted since they have no context of what government is. So, pwede sila i-recruit sa leftist movement. And that is why the army was there to also help them and educate them to prevent this kind of incident. So, that's pol sci. What else? Aside from pol sci and social, what other social science would be interested in their experience? Unsa pa? Any more? Wala na? What about geography? Would it have an implication in geography? What do you think? What do you think um, June Michael Pisau? Okay, no right or wrong answer, do not worry. June Michael? June Michael. Okay, before kang June Michael, so na-comment si Carlo, my understanding, ma'am, is the scope of the Philippine government are not enough to meet the needs of individuals living in isolated area. Correct. So actually, that's also why geography would be interested in this particular community because remember na wala nakasulod ang gobyerno sa ila because there are no roads. No? They are isolated, wala may dalan. So dili makasulod ang tabang sa government sa ilaha. And second, remember that there's a boundary issue. Remember that geography is about boundaries and geographical location. So since na ay tulo na siya sa boundary sa tulo ka province, who should be taking care of them? So that's also an issue that geography is, tackling about. Charmaine, sorry, ganina wak na magkinawa lang sila. No problem, sila. History, ma'am. Miss Kaumban. History. Why history, Rhea Jane? Rhea Jane? Gaka-experience pa man nila ang past. So, about Japan siya sa history, ma'am. Yeah, correct. So, actually, correct, no? Kay, in fact, if we document them, they have a very rich history that we do not know of because, again, they lived in isolation. Jamhel Dorano, economics. Anong economics, Miss Dorano?
Hello.
Yes,
Hello, ma'am.
yes.
Nakaingon ako nga economics on because you have said that gasel sila gabaklayan ba nila for San Fernando para lang na sila to earn a living. So, bakit niya siya sa economics ma'am where wala nila natarong bitaw ma'am kung sa lang dapat nga panginabuhian na.
Correct. So, economics deal with supply and demand and production. So, in fact,
Yes, ma'am.
ang pag-produce nila sa ang simple term na ang pag-produce nila sa abaka lugi kay 50 ra ang ginansya pag-abot dito sa at ginansya gani ginansi 50 ra ang ilang makuha pag-abot sa syudad. So there's no balance between the cost of production and the money that comes the profit that they gain. So correct. Economics, and also there's in terms of economics there's the problem that they don't have a stable source of income. Reliant sila sa abaka. No? So maybe if they could have the primary help that the government can do for them is to give them livelihood or to teach them
Livelihood. Yes, ma'am. Para nga mag-improve ilang kuan.
But of course, money siya pod, no? So we're now talking also about unit which is culture. Because now that the government has discovered them, the danger now is that maybe na ay mawala ang ilang own culture because now we have outsiders coming inside their community. So how do we preserve their culture? Muna din na siya ang next question. Because if there are outside, do you get the point? Nga kay magsulod man ang outsider sa ilaha, basin mawala ilahang kultura because they might get influenced by others now that they are discovered. So another question there now would be how do we or how will they be able to preserve their culture? Next, linguistics. Kay ilang mother tongue is na preserve pa ilaha pang nagkagamit. Yeah, correct. So linguistics is not totally a social science, but correct, no? Linguistics because their language is still their own. And again, this also has an impact on culture, linguistics as part of culture, because again, the problem is, will they be able to preserve their culture? Especially nga karon, as mentioned by the video, ginatudluan sila sa army. So what teachings should be done nga makahibalo sila sa outside world, but at the same time, dili mawala ilang culture. What else? Any more thoughts? So yeah, so basically, no, that's all 4 of our modules in one video. So what I'm really just trying to say is that you have been enrolled in a program which has such a diverse scope, and SocSci is everywhere. It's where you interact, it's what you do, and there's so much you can do to help us gain new knowledge in this particular course. Okay, so yeah, Ano? Some more? So I will post the full video of the forgotten people in our Facebook page. So you can actually follow their story po. Makita niyo dito interview si Governor Governor of Lanao del Norte mo siguro. Ano Lanao? Davao del Norte. So that you can also look at how they framed the story of these isolated people. Questions so far?
Nan, ma'am.
Sige, ako na yung mag-question. Kumusta ang inyong modules? How far are you in answering them? Paano din nagtingog? Huwag po mo nag-answer, no?
Duha wala na ansiran, ma'am.
Okay.
Unit 4 na lang,
Four,
ma'am,
ma'am.
o learning curve.
Okay, that's good. So,
Ma'am,
para sa...
bago pa ako
Ha?
na-enroll, ma'am.
Bago pa ka na-enroll? Nang-apil na ka sa Google Classroom.
Ayos, ma'am. Karon pa jud.
Karon pa
Pero
gid ka na-apil.
dapat sa uban nga mga requirements, ma'am. Pero naguba na yung cellphone, ma'am. Galisod ko. Pangula man ako og cellphone sa kuan, sa silingan.
Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
So, anyways, as I have told you, wala man po tayo deadline, no? You are free to decide when you will submit. Although, again, I would really, really recommend that you do your modules one at a time. So, kung ano man ta karon, we're actually now on midterms. And so, this week, I will probably upload the remaining 4. As I have told you, 8 at saka 2. So, I will be uploading the remaining 4 next week para mahinay-hinayan na ninyo. Okay?
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes, Carlo.
Yes, kaning ang midterm, ma'am, is upat activity din. Katong another 4 activities is pang final na to siya, ma'am.
Oh, so di ba nag-upload naman kog upat sa units. So mo to ang coverage sa inyong midterm.
Yes.
Mag-upload na pa din kog upat para sa final term. So 8 siya tanan.
Okay. Okay, ma'am.
I hope inyo nang mahinay-hinayan kay para dili siya mag-upload. Okay? And
Excuse
if you
me, ma'am.
Yes.
Ma'am, sa katong sa infographics, ma'am ba, pang final to siya or dili?
Final to siya.
Okay, by pair man to, ma'am ba?
Yes, by pair.
Thank you.
So mo to siya nasa module number 8. Ngayon ang activity. Okay, any more concerns? So, kanang if naamoy pinanong ko siya, I can easily check your work the moment you submit. So, katong mga nag-submit sa ako akaron, pwede na to na ako ma-grade this week or this week until next week. So, you can check on your grades for those who submit it by next Friday. Katong wala pa nakasubmit, pwede na mo mag-apas. No pressure. Basta kayo masubmit ninyo tanan by December. Okay? Questions? Questions? Any more? Ngun si Drexel J. Florentino, Geography, ma'am, kay gina-study pa ang place. Kung sila na-locate or na-belong. Yeah, correct. That's true. Any more? So if you have concerns, hello? Are you still there?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
So
Yes, ma'am.
if you have other concerns with your modules, please do not hesitate to message me so that I can respond. Pero also read carefully the instructions because the instructions are already there. Pero if dili pa gyud, pwede ra mo mag-message. If you have concerns
Okay, ma'am.
like on submission, kanang naman uban nga dili kayo nila ma-upload ang file, so you can just write it down and take a picture. Pwede ra. Salat na ninyo kung picturean. Yun yung answer. Any more? Wala na?
Wala na, ma'am.
Wala na. Are we clear? So our next meeting, I will check our schedule. Do you remember ano sa atong next meeting? Share na lang nako akong screen. Can you see the PowerPoint? Makita ninyo ang PowerPoint?
Yes, ma'am.
Wala.
So, wala?
Wala pa,
Wala
ma'am.
na?
Wala pa, ma'am.
Wala.
Wala sa kuha, ma'am.
Kana. Kana na?
Yes,
Ano, ma'am?
Wala, Japon.
Wala na?
Wala pa dyan.
Wala.
Ay, naana, ma'am.
Wala na? Okay. So,
Wala pa.
anyways, ako na lang basahon para katong sa nga dili pa makita, no? So October 9 mo naman ni atong gibuhat. Are we early? October 9 ba karon? Tama, October 9. So sa October 23, that's our midterm schedule, but we won't have any midterm exam man. But you can submit your accomplished modules by that time. And then October 26, i-upload na nako ang unit 5 to 8. 26 pa man di ay. Dugay pa. Okay. So are we good? Okay na mo? Questions?
None so far, ma'am.
So kung may concern na, please feel free to message. Or basin na po mo sa inyong group chat if you have classmates who have concerns. Please tell them to message me. Okay? Okay na ta? Sige, can you turn on your cameras so that I can screenshot you? Padali lang ah. Grabe, sana all fresh. Si Jonil, Drexel, kadali. Ayan, there, I see more of you. Ang uban lagi kay sa picture na screenshot ra na. Sige, 1, 2, 3. Kadali lang 1, 2, 3, smile. Wait lang. Okay, one more. Kadali ha. Sige, 1, 2, 3, smile. Okay na. Thanks. Bye. The next month.
Ma'am. Thank you.